Lads, welcome back to Fusion YGO. Today we're doing a vlog. What? A vlog? Yeah, I'm trying to do more of these. I'm trying to be better at vlogging. I'm a horrible vlogger. Vlog life. We're back at Top Cut Comics. We're going to continue working on our locals grind. Don't know what deck I'm going to play yet, but you'll see the profile later today, and you'll figure it out as I'm talking about it after rounds. Try to be better at this. Let's go ahead and jump right into locals. How does that sound? Oh yeah, round one in the bags. Oof, I'm really bad at holding this thing while I'm walking. Okay, so round one's in the bag. We play True Draco. I decided on Pendulum for today. Game one, I won the die roll, so I was going first. And I made the best board I could. It was not very strong. I think it was 2 interruptions. It was the best I could come up with. It was just kind of a bricky, awkward hand. I basically opened everything I didn't want to see in my opening hand. Made it a little touch and go, but able to set up a board, and then he was able to do stuff do some stuff with True Draco to interrupt me and make my field a little harder to play through, and then I was able to OTK him the next turn. Drew top decked into good stuff. I ended up pulling it out. Game 2, Inspector Border. Plus any True Draco monster, it was too much for me. I couldn't overcome it. I tried to overcome it. I had Servant set up, and then I didn't play. I just didn't do anything to defend myself properly, and that's 100% my fault, so it is what it is. Game 3, I set up a 5 interruption board, and it was game. So, good stuff so far. Round 1 in the books. Let's go for first place today. Let's go for it. Round 2 in the books. We played against Salamangreat. We went into time. It was a draw. 4 interruptions, Necro Valley, Sloth. Kind of just ruins days. So, I guess we're going to continue. Game 1, he scooped. It was just... I opened perfect. He opened no interruption. Game 2 was a grind, but he ended up pulling it out just because I didn't have anything. I opened all 4 scales and no ways to get to anything because I missided, which is my fault. You gotta own your faults. Learn from your mistakes. I learned from my mistake, and my collar is popped. I look like the Fonz. So game 2, he took it. In game 3, I got to go first, so I made my board. It was a solid board. I made a couple misplays, which would have made it a little harder for him to do anything, but 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Nothing you're gonna do. Necro Valley, Sloth, and 4 interruptions is a lot to deal with, so we're XO1. So we'll see how we continue out for the rest of the day. We got 2 more rounds to go, so here we go. Alright, round 3, Salamangreat again. This time it was Swift 0-2 for me. I didn't open well, I didn't play well. I gotta figure out, I gotta be smarter about how to handle the matchup. I only had 2 cards on my side that were really good against Salamangreat. Especially going first, I just decided out 2 cards that weren't super critical to my strategy and wasn't enough. So, game 1, Phantasma and Permanence on Electromite when that was really my only play. I didn't have anything else. I opened all mid-scale, so there was nothing I could do. And then game 2, I actually opened pretty well, but I misplayed a few times. I mishandled my resources. It's 100% my fault. And then he was able to get through He was just able to get through it. There was nothing I could do. It is what it is. Sometimes them's the breaks. I'll have to look at my Salamangreat matchup because it's becoming consistently my issue. So we're gonna look at that moving forward. Round 4, loss. Played against True Draco again. This was True Draco Unchained. I didn't know how to play against it because I've never played against it. I made some misplays and some mistakes, and it is what it is. And I opened my one-ofs. The cards that I don't want to see, I kept opening. I kept seeing in that game. And those are the breaks. That's just how it works. 1-1-2. 2 Salad, 2 True Draco. It's really frustrating to see the two matchups that I hate playing against the most, but they're the most prevalent. It is what it is. Like, it's locals. What are you gonna do? Just keep moving forward. The deck profile will be coming soon here after this, so stay tuned for the deck profile. I'll go over my card choices and things that I may be switching, like my theory behind the deck and the changes that I may be making in the near future. So we'll see you guys here in a minute.
Lads, the holidays are upon us, so why not purchase a Fusion YGO hoodie for you and yours to help you keep warm this cold year. And if you want to support us, help the channel, but you can't afford the merch, our merch, then you can support us by liking this video, commenting on the video, subscribing, and sharing this video with a friend. Any and all support greatly appreciated. Happy holidays from us here at Fusion YGO. Enjoy the rest of your video.
Alright, lads, we're going to do this deck profile a little different because this is on my phone. So we're going to go through this, the deck profile for what I played at locals today. You can kind of see the monsters here, what I'm playing and the numbers, but we're going to go through it real quick, starting from the top and working our way down. So obviously we have the Endymion cards, which I run triple Servant, double Endymion the Mighty Master of Magic, and 1 Magister. Servant has to be a 3 of. It's so powerful. The card's amazing. If you know anything about pendulums, you know what this guy does. It's incredible. Double Endymion. I actually missed him a lot today. I like this card in the deck. It's fantastic. It does so much work. I got its effect off a couple times today at locals, so Endymion is just crazy. Magister is just a high scale, and that's one of the things that this deck struggles with that I've noticed, is that there's only a handful of actual high scales, and everything else is, for the most part, low scales and mid scales, which kept being a problem today, and that's something that I need to address for the future. But I have a couple of card choices that I'm going to go over with you guys in the next part of this video. So that's them, and then of course double Mythical Beast Jackal King. I got double Mythical Beast Jackal King on the board like almost so often it was ridiculous. Came up clutch, stopping Nibiru's and Fantastical Dragon Phantasmes and things like that. So have to run it. Now on to the card that I hated. 2 Magical Abductor. Abductor was absolutely atrocious. It was a terrible play. I am constantly trying to update this deck and make it better, and I thought, Abductor's, it's spell counters and stuff like that. I'd rather play another Endymion or another Magister. Honestly, I'd rather have another high scale. I have enough access to low scales. I have 2 searchable low scales. I don't have enough high scales, and that is becoming a consistent issue with this deck is high scales. So that's where the focus needs to be. It does not need to be on things for Abductor. Abductor can search a high scale, and that adds consistency, but honestly, I wouldn't miss it if it was gone. Next up is Triple Dark Worm, 1 Supreme King Gate 0. It's obviously for your Guard Dragon plays. It's one of your Supreme King Gate 0 is your searchable low scale. Dark Worm is pretty crazy. Just being able to summon itself out of the graveyard and stuff like that. And then obviously your 2 targets, Aether and Destrudo. I prefer Aether over Sloth just because it's more versatile. It banishes something, and Destrudo is insane. It's just so good. You could honestly, the way I run the extra deck, it doesn't matter if you banish it off of Allure. So next up is your free spells, which is Triple Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. I've always been kind of on the fence with this card, but I like it right now as a 3 of. I've sometimes run it as a 2 of, but currently the 3 of is working out fantastically. And then your Chronograph Time Gazer. This guy kept popping up. This guy kept popping up in my opening hands. It is what it is.
sometimes them's the breaks, but free spell cards is important. And then 2 Bunbuku and 1 Nekomata, the Magispector cards. So the theory behind this is, 1, it gives me access to Totem Bird because it synergizes with the wind attribute of Servant of Endymion. They're all level 3s, and it allows you to go into a free negate if something gets stopped. So you're able to, I can pen summon this out and it'll be fine. And then I've just got a free Totem Bird, so I have some kind of interruption, which helps against back row decks. And then 1 Nekomata because it's searchable. And what you can do with it is summon, search at the end of the turn. It's just an option, but the main purpose of it is it's a low scale. It's 2. So that's it for the monsters. Now moving on to the spells, and then we're going to go into the substitutions. Alright, next up, we're here at spells. So next up is Spell Power Mastery at 3. Searches your Endymion cards. Sometimes I wish it was a 2 of, but 3 is just, you have to play it. It searches everything. Triple Into the Void, Triple Allure of Darkness, draw spells, free cards. Free green cards. Green cards are good in this deck. They're just, you gotta play green cards, so green. Upstart, Pot of Desires. I only run 1 of each. This is one of the cards I want to cut from the deck completely. The card just, every time I see it, it makes me mad. It's not that it's a bad card, it's that it's a bad card in this deck. Because you have so many powerful cards, and you don't want to banish any of them. And you have so much draw power and so much recursion that this card is just, 1, it's overkill, 2, it's horrible. I always, it's completely subjective, but every time I've played it, I have regretted playing it the second it hits the field. But I do have substitutions if you so desire. 1 Foolish, 1 Shrine, good cards. 1 Citadel, 1 Ravine. This I might keep, this I might get rid of. This is kind of like one of those flex cards. I'm just kind of playing it, seeing how I like it. I'm very realistically probably going to cut both of these cards because they just don't do enough. And I'm trying to get this down to 40 cards. And right now I have 5 cards that I want eliminated from the deck based on where we're at right now. So 1 Citadel, 1 Ravine, 1 Seeker Village, and 1 Terraforming. Alright, so now onto the cards that I have substitutions for, or I may just cut entirely. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. Okay, so here are the 5 cards that I don't personally like in the deck. 2 Magical Abductor, 1 Desires, 1 Ravine, and 1 Citadel. Now, underneath it, I have a few cards that you can look into adding. 4 monsters, Raccoon, Magister, Endymion, and Cerberus. And 3 spells, Pendulum Paradox, Pendulum Halt, and Duelist Alliance. Now, this is fine, but it has to be after you've done all your drawing, and can conflict with Into the Void, which is why I'm probably not going to run any of these, because if I was going to run Halt, I'd run all of them. But if you so choose, I would recommend running these 3. If you're going to run this, you may as well run these 2 just so you have a searcher for it. So a searchable draw spell, recursion for your Pendulum monsters, and a free Pot of Greed. But you have to pick your poison with it. And if you're going to play it, you just got to go all in on it. That's my opinion on it. So I've played Pendulum Halt in decks before. It's actually a pretty powerful card, but it's more of a win more card. And honestly, I'd rather use Desires after I've already done all the rest of my drawing for the turn and searching for the turn anyway. So it's up to you if you so to choose to run this. I'm probably not going to. What I'll probably end up doing, I might, I don't know, but I might just stick with Ravine and put in another Endymion or another Magister, just so I have another high scale. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, and cut it down to 40. But these are a couple of cards that I've been contemplating with for the past little while on adding in. You can obviously run, if you wanted to cut all 5 of them and just run these 4 and run a 42 card deck, you can do that. And that's a lot of green cards that makes Servant more powerful. But I may cut this entirely. One of the goals is to get Appaloosa, which makes Ravine redundant. Not redundant, just unnecessary. It's just a useless card. So I want to start building my deck to not have the Romulus play as I'm as it's, you know, I'm getting an Appaloosa soon, so it's just kind of, you know, picking your poison. I'm probably just going to get rid of Ravine, though. Cut it down to 40 cards, and then just pick 2 of these cards to put in. I may go with Raccoon and Endymion. I might go with Pendulum Paradox. I don't know. I might go with the Duelist Alliance, like the trio. I might. I've contemplated it, because it's a search card and things like that, and I can get rid of Terraforming or something like that, or run 41 cards, like, what do I care? So, I don't know. Just kind of what I'm thinking right now. So these are a couple of viable substitutions that you can look into for your Pendulum deck. Alrighty, on to the extra deck. So we've got 2 generic Link 2s, 1 Electromite, and 1 Land Fornicus. Electromite is because it's a Pendulum deck, Land Fornicus is just a generic down arrow 2. Then you got your Odd Eyes cards, the Absolute Dragon and the Vortex Dragon. Pretty critical to a Pendulum deck. And then finally 1 Totem Bird, and this is in here because you play 6 wind level 3s, which gives you a free spell or trap negate, which is always nice. 1 Pisty, 1 Elpie. I've actually used both of them. I've never used this next card. I have not ever once summoned Romulus, but Romulus is in here because it's a free searcher for a spell card. It hasn't come up, and it's never been a card that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this. It doesn't come up. Hieratic Seal, Heavenly Spheres. The card's fantastic. It does so much work. So just so people know that this isn't like in testing, it's never come up. In the 3 or 4 tournaments I've taken this deck to, I have never once summoned it. In a ton of games, in everything I've done with it, Romulus is always just like, I can summon it, but why? Hieratic Sphere, I summon all the time. The card's fantastic. And 1 Triple Burst Dragon. Next up is Saryuja and Boral Sword. Cards are amazing. Saryuja, I'll sometimes go into just for the 3 effect, but the 4 effect is incredible, and you will get it off every once in a while, and when it comes up, it's amazing. Boral Sword, it's just to kill them more. I don't summon this very often, but when it comes up, it's incredible, obviously. And then my 3 synchros. Dawn Dragster, which is just a generic light, so it gives me 2 cards basically as Omni Negates to be able to play around Super Poly. 1 Cyber's Quantum Dragon. This card's amazing. It's so good. Honestly, Quantum Dragon just it's incredible. It's unreal how good the card is. And then Meteor Burst Dragon, which you use with Scale 0 to be able to make Vortex Dragon a little bit more easily. So you'll Destrudo to make this, or if you're in a weird spot, you can also just make Absolute to summon Odd Eyes Vortex and just link into Saryuja or Spheres, whatever. But this just gives you another dragon that's like, oh hey, look at this, and I'm gonna summon another dragon. It's pretty awesome. But that's it for the extra deck. The only changes that I might make is I've been contemplating cutting this because it doesn't come up as much anymore. I'm always going into Dawn Dragster or Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, but every time I do summon this card, I win, because it's just this plus Boral Sword is incredible. Because what I'll do is I'll go, okay, so this, bounce a card, swing again, kill something, Boral Sword, turn this to defense so it can swing twice, attack. So you get 4 attacks with 25 and a 3k plus booty. So pretty incredible combination of cards, and it does come up in weird OTK situations, but and in grindier games that it's so powerful. It does so much work. So let's move on to the extra deck. I said extra deck, and I meant side deck. So on the side deck, we run double Sphere Mode, double Nibiru. I don't want to see Nibiru as often as I do, but it's so good, it's silly not to run it. And I also run triple Dark Ruler No More. This is actually a card I'm contemplating taking out. this or this. I don't know. I might take out both of them, just because like sphere mode like helps me break boards, but Nibiru does it as well. So it's just kind of figuring out what I want to do. I may cut one of these, cut both of these, run a third Nibiru, and then something else. I haven't decided. Back row decks kind of give me some trouble, so I want to be able to play around those a little bit better. So we have those, and then we've got Amorphid Sloth, Necro Valley. This is basically to say, Salamangreat, you don't get to play today. It's such a powerful duo of cards. It's just going to make Salamangreat players hate you. Triple Twin Twisters and triple Red Reboot. I'm also contemplating like cutting a Reboot and a Twisters and maybe even a Sphere mode and just putting in triple Denko Sekka, or even doing so. Here are 4 cards that I've been contemplating siding in: Denko Sekkas and Garuda. Denko, I never summoned and never sided it in, but I've been contemplating more and more to take out a Reboot and a Twin Twisters, put in 2 Denkos, put in the third Nibiru, and throw in a Garuda, because it's just free back row hate, and back row hate's super nice. And Garuda's a nice flex pick, as it has certain matchups where it's actually very useful. So, that is it for the side deck. Pretty standard. Alright lads, well, that is it for today's video. Look at all these cards. That is another locals vlog in the books. I feel like this one was honestly one of the better vlogs I've done. I will try to do more content when I'm there, but right now I'm just getting accustomed to 3 different shops that I'm doing locals at the moment. Super fun deck, did a lot of work, and I'm really happy with my results because it was learning. I feel like I'm getting better and better every time I play the deck, and I'm learning how to make the deck better. So you guys are going on this deck building journey with me, and I appreciate all your support. So make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.